In this video, we'll see how to use the input command to gather information from the user of your program. So far in MATLAB, we've used the command window as kind of a scratch pad where we can do commands and have MATLAB calculate things for us. And we can also create variables there. But we've also done commands in a script. So up here, I'm going to start a new script. I'll call this input-output notes. And we can use this double percentage sign to create a new cell. So if I want to run a small piece of the code at once, I can do that here in this new code. So let's do user-defined input. And we're going to gather some information from the user and then use it to calculate some stuff. And then we'll save the script and see what happens. So let's calculate the distance traveled by a falling object. So we'll ask the user to tell us the acceleration due to gravity. So let me type in what I want to ask the user first. What is the value of acceleration due to gravity? And I'll put a question mark there, and then I close the string with the other single apostrophe. So we can't just say this, and MATLAB is kind of giving me this highlight warning thing that says, you sure this is what you want to do? And it's not, because I need this command to be input. So I need to say, hey, I'm going to ask the user, and then put this phrase in parentheses. That's the prompt. And I don't just want that hanging out there, I want to save it as something. So I'm going to call this gravity. And I will assign to this new variable gravity the result of this input command. And notice it's highlighting this equal sign to say, hey, if you don't want to show the output in the command window, be sure to suppress the output with a semicolon. So I will do that, but I want to show you what happens first when we run this without suppressing the output. So let's run this section. Let's double check before we do that. So I've got gravity, this is my new variable I'm defining, equals, and then this word input. I've got parentheses, single quote mark, the string, that's going to be the question, and single quote mark to finish it with the end parentheses there. So let's run this section and see what we get. Notice what's happening. It's in the command window. This is where MATLAB communicates with the user of the program. So they've run your script and they get this interaction in that command window. So the value of acceleration due to gravity, I don't know, let's say 32. Oops, 32. Notice there's no space here. If you want a space after your question mark, you have to put it in your string, in your input prompt. So we'll make that change. And then I hit enter, and because I didn't suppress the output, I get this result of the variable assignment. So I'm going to make a quick change, add a semicolon and add a space before the end of the string. Remember, string just means that I'm talking about characters, text in other words. String is how MATLAB refers to text. So now when I run it, I get the space here, and I'm going to put in 9.8, and it doesn't do anything because I suppressed the output. And my program doesn't do anything else, so it's done. It just finished, it reached the end of the script. So we can, let's make a quick note here. This command input gathers a numerical value from the user. It doesn't have to be a numerical value. It could be a string or text, but then you have to add the S flag to the end of this prompt. So let's add a new one. Let's say username equals input. What is your name? And I close, let's leave a space, and then comma string S. This is telling MATLAB, expect a string and save it as a string. It's not going to be a number because otherwise MATLAB will think it's going to be a number, and suppress that output. So let's run this again and we'll get both prompts one after the other. When I run this section, acceleration due to gravity, I'll say 32, and my name, well, mine's Jessica, so that's what I'll put. You can put whatever you like. Notice the in the workspace over here we have CH. That's telling us it's a character array. In this case, a 1 by 7, because I have 7 letters in my name, and it's giving me the value here. So if you want input to record a string or text, you need this S flag. If you leave it off, it will be a numerical value by default. All right, in our next video, we'll do some more interesting things with user input.